Bad, bad. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm just the way I am.
Of all the English lyrics, why?
Because
Why
well, I gotta save other ones for.
Oh, okay, you're gonna save the good ones for next week.
I mean, that's a good one. It's weird. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'm just the way I am.
Okay.
There's a lot of weird English lyrics in the song.
All right,
we'll get to that next week.
Sure. You're bad, Itzy, in many ways.
Spoilers. You said I was gonna spoil it. You spoiled it.
Oh.
But yeah. This is Nate from Truly Daebak, and this is the DaebakCast, episode 108. And as you can see, there's no Jacob. He got mixed up. He's got a lot going on with going to Korea and stuff. So, but we're just gonna record part 1 and 2 right now, and then he should be on for part 3 and 4, which are our reviews. Yeah, and I'm joined as always by Andrew, who has 3 things.
Number 1.
What? I was gonna say, why are you being all
no, I'm just happy
about it.
No, the image I have right now is Tom Brady holding and his daughter holding the Super Bowl trophy because they won their 6th Super Bowl title in a thrilling 13-3 matchup. I mean, I know most people are thinking it's boring or whatever, but I mean, Jacob was there. He could vouch.
I was programming.
Yeah, I was just there nearly having a heart attack going into the fourth quarter.
Except wasn't the game like really boring actually?
No, I like the defense, but I mean, obviously it was low scoring. That's a thing. Like,
yeah,
most like casual people would be like, won't appreciate low scoring defensive games, but I mean, yeah, I do. But everyone's kind of mad because they kind of honey-dicked everyone with the SpongeBob.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so they have... Like, they start playing it for a second, and then it's just a transition into sicko mode by Travis Scott, and like the internet was so mad. Everyone was mad. But coincidentally, though, the same day or Super Bowl Sunday, the Dallas Stars had a game, and for their halftime show, they actually did like a laser projection onto the ice, playing "Sweet Victory" and everything. So,
oh really?
Like, yeah, they had the thing pop up from like the bubble bowl and everything. So at least someone did it correctly. So that was cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to the parade. I mean, but I got to save my money and days off for Korea. But I mean, that parade looked lit or whatever. Just hundreds of thousands of people, basically. Yeah. Number 2, a little game called Apex Legends came out earlier this week, and I am an addict at this point.
If you play games, you've definitely heard of it.
If you know anything,
literally everywhere.
Yep, it's the new Fortnite. No, it's never gonna be. Yeah. I don't think it won't overtake it.
I think it definitely is. Has completely pushed PUBG and Blackout. Out of the picture.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone. I think most of the PUBG people are gonna go to this, and some of the Fortnite people, and so like I don't see, and Blackout definitely, it's like free Blackout, so there's gonna be more people playing it. Yeah,
it's free Blackout, especially on PC. Like, there's no reason to go play Blackout anymore, because you and I have been big fans of Titanfall for like the longest time, so I just like Titanfall Battle Royale game. Holy crap!
Exactly. I put like 200 hours into Titanfall 1.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything I wanted, just like the parkour stuff, like all of this, and like the thing I like. You don't have to talk to people. All you can do is just like ping, and then
the smart ping system is something I think is gonna change, like shooting, like tactical shooters.
Yeah,
like every game now on needs that.
Yeah, basically, it's gonna be a huge disappointment. Like having to communicate over the internet.
Strategy game.
Yeah, especially like if you don't want to hear like 13-year-olds screaming into your mic or whatever.
Exactly.
It's a godsend, and it just makes it if you're not using your pings, you're not playing the game correctly. Like, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So.
Or you're actually talking to the people.
Or you're actually talking to people. So. We should fuck it. We'll stream it next week when you're all here. We'll just dick around in Apex Legends when you're all here.
Yeah, we can like switch up who's playing each round.
And last but not least, Nate, I see you're wearing the shirt. I am wearing the. I literally just got this in yesterday. The Truly Daebak dad hat. just wanted to see how it looked, and it came out amazing. Honestly, I think just this new logo that Jacob did just looks incredible on a dad hat, and we're gonna get all this like hoodies and like your zip up jacket sort of thing soon. Hopefully before we get it before Red Velvet. That's why I was rushing this. But
are they still on the way?
Yeah, they're still on the way. This is the only one that came in, but
okay.
yeah, if you're interested in merch, maybe once we have things more settled down or I figure out how to do this better, that's definitely something we want to go into because these look awesome, and I know a lot of you guys probably want Truly Daebak merchandise as well.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably not going to happen until after Korea, but it would be like summer at the earliest.
Yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little preview of this because I love this hat. I'm going to wear it like all the time now. As always, join our Discord. It's mucho lit. It's really lit lately because there's it's on fire because we're fighting over Itzy. But that's next week. Also,
more
just
songwriting stuff happening.
Also, for the people that are if you're listening to this, hopefully by now, the audio versions are all fixed because I only realized that when we switched over, nothing has been updated since the end of 2018. So like our audio listeners just have no idea what is going on.
Is it still messed up? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm typing. I know people don't like when I type.
Yeah, basically once we swapped over to iTunes we swapped over the RSS feeds, nothing was updating
But I
anymore.
switched it back like 3 days ago, so the fact that it's still not updated, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's weird, but I mean, we should have Podbean or like we're switching to our new server hosting. Hopefully by the time this goes up. So sorry again, it's just been a huge mess with audio, but hopefully this is just for like longevity's sake because I don't know how long we'll be able to last on SoundCloud. So if you and it'll streamline the process for us being able to get on Spotify, which I know is a really big thing for people. So
yeah, we'll be able to get on Spotify and Google Store. So Google Play.
And those are the three things with some minor notes.
Yep. Okay, let's go to topic one. Topic one, we're just going to discuss the CocoSori situation that's been happening over the past like month or so. There was a big update this past week, or was it last week?
February 1st.
It was the past week or two.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
So like 9 days ago.
I just have like the huge like manifesto that they wrote on Facebook.
I've got a couple things open, but just to give a little bit of background. So CocoSori is a duo under M.O.L.E Entertainment, or M.O.L.E Entertainment. They're a pretty unknown small company. The group never really blew up. I mean, they've had some hits here and there.
They have like slight popularity just because Coco she speaks English, so she has like a fan base that way. Sori was in the Idolmaster Korean version. Both of them, I believe, tried out. One of them was Mix 9, the other one was Unit.
I know, Coco was in Mix 9, and Sori was in the Unit.
Yeah.
People know them, but they've never like done insanely well in terms of sales or anything. They're just a girl duo that just does standard pop. It's not like Bubblegum that does like indie stuff or anything. They're a pop group. I'd say like sometime last year they just started doing solo stuff. We actually liked their last comeback as a group.
Yeah, it was like Mi Amor or something like that.
Yeah, Mi Amor, that's right.
And then they had like some weird kiss scene or whatever. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
It was like some tropical song, but I think we enjoyed it.
But it was because like they were dreaming or whatever, and they almost kissed each other. That was a thing.
Gotta get them sales. Gotta get them sales though.
But we liked the song. But after that, they just did like solo stuff. And it was kind of weird, like what was going on. And now it's pretty clear there's strife either between Coco and the company, or Coco and Sori, or both.
Or both at this point.
Or pretty much both. And we'll never know exactly what happened. I feel like because it's all here. It's he said, she said at this point. And I don't know if anyone will ever come out, and maybe someone leaves the company and like does a tell all, but. At this point, we only have biased messages from both sides. But basically, Coco has been doing a lot of side stuff as a streamer. And she's gotten pretty popular on Twitch and
YouTube,
YouTube and Korean streaming services. And at some point, let me see, I have 5 months ago, she just like kind of went off on her stream, talking about how like the company was screwing her over and telling her they didn't have any money for her to do a solo, and then and like just basically she said they were lying to her and focusing completely on Sori. She had to like crowdsource her comeback, whereas Sori got a comeback like just completely funded by the company. So like all the stuff she was saying seemed like pretty valid. And she like, yeah, she didn't like talking about being an idol when she was streaming and stuff. And she their contract's up soon. It seemed like she was pretty like done being an idol and was gonna leave the industry anyway.
I got
and she was just kind of like.
I have the MV playing right now, by the way. So just
okay.
Just like
yeah,
the stark difference between Coco's like the money that they put into Coco's sort of comeback or like solo debut versus Sori, who had like everything produced by the company, whereas Coco, I believe, had to like crowdfund it, like Kickstarter.
She crowdfunded
something like that.
Yeah, she did. I think it was Makestar. So yeah, this all happened like 5 months ago. And yeah, like we said, Sori got a comeback, and it was like it's not a high budget MV, but it was a produced music video. She had a produced comeback. And she also does a lot of YouTube stuff. She's known for like fashion and stuff. She's
friends with a lot of people,
Yeah.
like Ellen and Brian. I believe she like does stuff with like people over here, like besides
no, I mean Sori.
Oh, sorry.
Sori also does YouTube stuff, but she does like fashion stuff, and
most of it's just her in bikini.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go look it up.
It's a little weird. But... It's a little like obvious that it's like, hey, here's a girl in revealing clothing. Come check out my YouTube channel. Also, I think they did either they did. I don't take this for granted. I could be completely wrong, but I remember reading somewhere that like there was maybe a Kickstarter for a Sori comeback, and one of the rewards you got like one of her swimsuits or something gross. I don't think I'm making that up. I remember reading. I don't know if it was something she wore.
I'm playing the trailer right now, and oh god, it's
or
just
if
her
it's
like
something
like her channel
I
trailer.
could be wrong. I don't want to like slander, but. I do remember something like that being a thing.
Oh god, her YouTube trailer is just her doing like yoga and stuff. I'm just like, oh, it's like exactly. that. It's like that, huh?
Yes, yeah, basically. But okay, so that's what both of the members have been doing. Now the company, on February 1st, we said, put out this insanely long post on Facebook. It's like it's probably like 5,000 words. Yeah. And I'm not gonna even attempt to read it. But. Basically, what they're saying is that Coco has been completely lying about everything and slandering them and Sori on her social media and on her streams. And they are basically they sent like legal documents saying like you broke contract and we want a public apology. And Coco sent a legal statement back saying they wouldn't apologize. So it seems like there's going to be some sort of legal battle. But at this point, it's like a public feud.
Yeah, and remember how, again, for those that aren't necessarily familiar with how serious they take, like, what libel or just, like, defamation sort of things in Korea. Like, again, the companies pursue, like, comments and that sort of stuff. So with a company like this, you know that they're not fucking around when it comes to this sort of thing. They're considering it, like, some type of breach of contract to some degree, where basically like, oh, you're just like you're slandering the company, or she's speaking about things that aren't supposed to necessarily be made public. And again, it's the company's in a rough situation because again, Coco's the one out there with the platform, whereas the company
has to. You gotta like make sure lawyers go over everything you say, like because you gotta make sure you're not like putting yourself in a legal like bad spot where Coco's just a person and she's just like emotionally telling what her side of the story.
And I mean, at
on
this
her
point,
stream.
Coco has it seems like she's completely checked out of being an idol. Like she's just done with like everything. And I mean, maybe this feeds into that sort of, but yeah, like in this sort of case, I don't necessarily blame her for sort of lashing out in this sort of way, because I mean that's a common thing nowadays, is where if you literally have no avenue to sort of get your story out there, you just fuck it, like put it out on social media or whatever, and hope that like people like take notice. So at face value, it looks like one of those sort of things. But I mean, again, this post sort of makes you think otherwise, or just it makes the story much more complicated in this sort of way.
And yeah, like, and they're saying it put them in a really bad spot because she was deciding to focus on her YouTube channel instead of going to like schedules, which means the company is now in trouble with like the broadcasting companies, like, because they're she's not showing up to her schedules. Yeah,
it's a contract thing, not necessarily just
exactly.
Them not giving her anything sort of deal.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like Coco is saying they didn't have any money for her and they were treating her poorly and focusing on Sori, so she's basically just stopped doing anything she's supposed to do. And the company is saying, well, that's a lie. We got you these schedules. You're not going to them because the YouTube money is more important to you than like your contract and stuff. So like, and I mean, those are basically two sides. And I mean, that we know right now.
That's probably right in that sort of way, because if you consider just how much money you make on like Twitch, just being, again, like the whole section of Twitch just is IRL streaming, that like basically if some dude wants to talk to like a pretty K-pop star girl sort of thing, then he'll give you like $100 donations or whatever. I mean, why would you become like even bother becoming an idol and like dealing with all this nonsense or whatever if you could just do that and just stay at home sort of thing? So, I mean, she's not wrong in wanting to prioritize that, but I mean, it's a contract that you signed, and
yeah, exactly. Like if you don't follow that contract, you're gonna be sued. So it's probably a bad idea. Like, why, if that's truly what's happening, if she like truly thinks they broke the contract, then
you can counter sue, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, she can do all of this, but it's probably a bad idea. To me, it seems like she's acting entirely out of emotion.
Yeah.
And like short-term financial gain, because the group isn't doing well and the company's probably not doing that great. So she's like, okay, I can make all this money on Twitch and YouTube. And in the long term, it's probably a bad idea because she's under contract, and if she is breaking all this contract, like, she's gonna have to pay somehow.
And I think it's not necessarily just her prioritizing YouTube and Twitch and all that other stuff over her contracts. It's that so at some point in this like diatribe, they're talking about how Coco, according to them, again, this is M.O.L.E Entertainment's side of the story, where they are positing, or they're putting forward the fact that Coco went to the company and said, I'm done with being an idol, and then they respected her wishes, even though that, like, okay, they want to make, obviously it's talent, you want to make money, like, no company is going to,
you put
resources into
money
it.
into
so
them.
Like, for as incompetent as like YG can be or whatever, I don't think even YG's stupid enough to not understand the fact that you have to, if you don't use you're not making any money by not using your employees. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in that sort of way. So yeah, they were like, okay, we'll respect it, that sort of thing. And then she came forward with them with the song Sugar Cake, and then they're like, okay, we'll produce according to them, they produced the song for that, or they helped fund the production of the song. It wasn't necessarily just, because most Kickstarter campaigns or just any sort of thing like that, the money, even if it says, 150% like accomplished or whatever, that doesn't even begin to cover all of the expenses. So it's
just like a boost in helping fund it. It's not covering it entirely at all.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently that's what. Okay, so I'll read it word for word here. Quote, Coco also argued about Sugar Cake's Kickstarter rewards, stating that the company's poor management of dealing with her CDs derived problems while she fulfilled all responsibilities. The CDs were sent to everyone a long time ago, and only 2 of them came back unclaimed because of incorrect addresses. In fact, the actual complication with Kickstarter rewards was due to Coco continuously postponing to provide fan services, such as shooting video messages, so much so that it took longer than 3 months to accomplish it. So apparently, yeah, they're sort of coming back at those accusations that she was like, oh, they're trying to stifle the Kickstarter sort of thing.
Well, right after that, it even says like one of the fan services of Skype video calls still hasn't happened.
Yeah, that's a mess. That's a huge mess.
So, yeah, it's a giant mess. I don't think either side is truly like.
No one is guilt-free in these things ever. No one not at all. Ever is, yeah.
I'm sure the company was like, okay, Sori is a lot more popular because of her looks and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's clear in her last music video that they're like, here, put you in a bikini the whole time and a bunch of shots of your butt and like, yeah, so like
explosion of like popularity.
Well, yeah, it's just like it's clear that Sori was more popular, and they're using her popularity because of her looks to keep that popularity going and make money. So it makes sense that they would have focused more on her than Coco, as Coco is the less popular of the 2 members. Especially a company that's in like a small company that needs money like that. They can't waste money on things that aren't going to make them money back. But then also Coco seems clear that she kind of just fucked the company over by breaking her contract. And
yeah.
They both screwed each other over basically.
Yeah, because because legal debacles and on both sides, that's expensive. Like the only people that win in this case are the lawyers, because they're just gonna get like fat stacks of cash. The longer this sort of lawsuit case goes, oh man, they're just gonna rake it in. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and it's a tough situation for both sides too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just my sort of thoughts on it. I mean, at first, because again, we did not hear anything from M.O.L.E. Entertainment at all. We only heard from Coco.
For 5 months, yeah.
Yeah,
all we heard was from Coco almost half a year ago, like, saying this.
Yeah, and then obviously, like, only knowing one side and knowing the sort of history and industry that we are sort of dealing with here, where this is it's commonplace for idols to sort of be mistreated. Yeah, and mistreated or neglected by incompetent companies. I mean, it checked out immediately, so everyone was like, oh, that sucks. She was garnering sympathy for her in that sort of way, and I guess just sort of her being the level of accessibility that you get with Coco in comparison to the level of accessibility you get with M.O.L.E. Entertainment just leads her side of the story to be more credible. But with this information out, again, it's not so cut and dry anymore. I think it's to my ears, like, again, obviously this is all speculation, but I mean, I don't think it's anything controversial to say that maybe these feelings of jealousy or sort of resentment towards either Sori or towards the company are deep-seated, like long before like any of this even came up.
No,
like,
yeah, definitely.
And maybe it's something that maybe it's a reflection of Coco's personality, like off camera, or not being an idol, where she sort of doesn't feel confident or feels like she's not getting a fair shake in that sort of way. And I mean, okay, I can understand that. I could definitely relate to sort of feeling like you're playing second fiddle, but I'd say there's a lot more graceful ways to go about it, and maybe
100%.
Because you're burning every bridge that you could possibly, like, no one's gonna want to touch her with a 10-foot pole at this point if you're willing to do this. And I mean, maybe that was her objective all the way, the entire time, just to burn all the bridges and just start over.
I think she knew what she was doing. I think she knew, like, okay, it doesn't matter how the Korean entertainment industry views me, because I'm just going to be an internet personality now. But yeah, like you said, there's definitely better ways to do it. And I think it seems like a lot of people have been saying, like, she's been spouting, like we said, we found out, like, her side of the story 5 months ago, and it seems like she regularly brings it up and every time she does, she gets like she gets that sympathy money on Twitch and stuff. So like
maybe it's a calculated
maybe she's like
sort of thing.
exploiting it to like, it's one thing to feel that way and to express it like because it should be out there, that like, hey, I'm getting mistreated, the company is not like treating me as well as they should, I think. But continuously doing it, and I don't know if she is. I don't watch her streams or anything.
I don't watch her streams.
Based on like the Reddit comments I've read and stuff of people who seem much more informed about the situation, it seems like she brings it up like pretty regularly, and every time she does, she gets money. So it seems like she might be exploiting this side as well. And I don't want to say like she's at fault, and I don't want to say the company's at fault, because they're both at fault.
They're both at fault. Like there's clearly on the side of M.O.L.E Entertainment, there's clearly been some type of miscommunication, because again, if both Coco and M.O.L.E Entertainment sort of like hash this out in private, like, okay, you're not happy, like we want you to be happy because you're an employee and you make money for us, that sort of thing. If they were able to hash that out, then okay. So someone on management clearly wasn't able to sort of take the hints or read the signs or whatever, or deal with it behind the scenes. Then obviously Coco just didn't know when to stop necessarily. Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, it just kept going.
Because like the obvious way to deal with this is to be internal, and then they just end the contract amicably and she leaves. Like, why? So clearly the company didn't want to do that for some reason, and she just kind of went crazy about using her platform to get the bad word out there and kind of like blame her company when it's partially her fault as well.
Yeah, and I mean this is definitely a lesson to be. There's definitely a lesson to be learned here, that obviously everything like in the internet age, when literally just speed takes priority over like accuracy or reliability of information. So that's why I know it's always a controversial thing to say, but when people say like wait for all the facts to come out, that's usually a good idea, because again, everyone wants to, again, in the this day and age of social media where everyone wants to be first, like to sort of like let their opinions known and to sort of like proclamate their righteousness to everyone. And I mean, obviously they want to white knight Coco or something, but that's why it's always a good idea to just wait and see when all of the facts come out. And obviously in this sort of case, nothing is gonna ever be concrete, but again, it's usually a good idea, or it's a really good example of just how the way people present themselves online, especially when it comes to K-pop, or like the way they present themselves as idols, is not always what they really are. Like,
no, I'd say 99% of the time.
Yeah.
It's not what they are.
Everyone like it's to the point where they manufacture personalities for people. Like that's a thing where they train you into, okay, you're the funny one. Okay, you're the one that's always super serious. You're the one that has a sob story. Like that's part of the industry. So, like, as much access as we have to celebrities nowadays through Twitter and Instagram and all this sort of stuff and YouTube, like even us, like. There's to some degree, everyone, when they put themselves out there on the internet, everyone has some type of front. Everyone's not spilling everything out onto the internet or out onto the ether in that sort of way. So just be careful with who you idolize or who you follow in that sort of way. I guess that's just the moral message to sort of take away from this.
Yep.
It's not necessarily them saying no 100 times. It's the way they say no 100 times.
It's the type of voice they use, really. So yeah. Overall, I really like the song. It's just like that main part that kills it a little. So,
Nate.
So for me, I'm with Andrew.